You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen to this, it will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen to this in a still position, just feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways feels good in your body. And just doing your best to not think about the movements at all, but just letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, joints. Just following those yummy sensations you might get when you do some cat-cow motions with the spine, or side body bends, or neck rolls. Just anything at all that feels good in your body right now. And if what feels best in your body right now is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. There is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But at any point, if you haven't already, you can allow yourself to come to a still position with the spine nice and straight. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And now mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full, intentional cleansing breath. As you take a long and slow inhale in through the nose and let yourself fill up slowly and fully to every corner and edge of you, as you just pause for a moment when you are full to really experience what that feels like. And without straining as you need to, slowly let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit, and just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push that last bit of stagnant air out of you, as you again pause for a moment to experience that sense of emptiness, and allow your next breath to come to you as it is needed. And so you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful for you. Just exaggerating the four parts of your breath. Not worrying about the length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting them be exaggerated, whatever that means for you today. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can open yourself up to take in a little bit more air. And when you would naturally roll over to your exhale, seeing if you can hold off on that for an extra moment to really feel that fullness. And as you exhale, pushing that last bit of air out of you, even once you think you're empty, just truly emptying yourself. And again, pausing to really feel that emptiness, that release. And letting your next breath come naturally as it is needed. And so you can continue to breathe like this for as long as it feels good and helpful. But at any point, if you haven't already, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether and allow your breath to return to its natural state and become the observer or the witness of your breath rather than having any impact over the rhythm or depth of the breath. Seeing if you can simply watch your body as it breathes you. Remembering how your body breathes perfectly even when you are in a deep sleep. And seeing if you can just watch that process the same way that you would watch any other force of nature. When you lay on the beach and just watch the waves roll up along the shoreline. You do not try to change anything about the waves, how big they are or how fast they come and go. But you just have a seat and watch as they do. So allowing your breath to be just like the waves, letting them come and go. Each inhale and exhale comes and goes naturally, as needed, trusting your body's own intelligence, trusting that your body does everything that is needed to keep you alive every single moment of every single day. And there is nothing that you need to be doing right now. This is not a doing or thinking process, but one of listening and observing. So letting your awareness rest more on your face as you just first notice any expression that could be resting on your face. Making note of any emotions that could be communicated by the expression resting on your face, if any at all. Maybe the brow is furrowed or the jaw is tense. Maybe the nostrils are flared, or the chin could even be holding some extra tension. And the moment you notice any area within the face that is holding on a bit tighter than is needed, you can exhale into these spaces and allow these areas to soften a little bit more. Again, reminding yourself to trust your own anatomy. Trust that everything will be held exactly where it needs to be without any of your holding. It is safe for you to release your jaw fully and feel your lips be soft. And releasing your tongue from the roof of the mouth. As you feel the chin soften a little bit more. Feeling the cheeks, the nostrils, and all the muscles in your ears as well, the upper jaw. Feeling your eyeballs rest in their sockets. Allowing your eyebrows to soften And feeling the full width and depth of your forehead as you allow the hairline to soften back a little bit more. Almost feeling this sense that the muscles in the face are hanging off of the bones, ungripping from the bones, and releasing back into the support of your skin. Allowing your shoulders to be heavy. Your arms to soften, along with your hands and fingers. And just letting more and more of your awareness come into your hands and fingers. And just focusing in on any sensations you feel within your hands and fingers. Maybe starting to feel a slight pulse. Remembering the pulse that is running through your hands and fingers. And with your awareness, zooming in on an area where you feel that pulse, and then tracing that space up through the arms, through the upper arms and shoulders, as your awareness meets at the space right between the shoulders in your heart. Tracing that space from the pulse in your hands through all the veins and vessels that connect your hands directly to your heart. Even with the eyes closed, maybe just seeing a depiction of your own anatomy right now. And knowing that this is within your body, and you do have the ability to see or to feel and almost see these processes occurring within you. And just feeling that innate connection between your heart and your hands. And allowing your body to soften a little bit deeper beneath this heartbeat. As you feel your pelvic floor widen and lengthen and soften a little bit deeper into whatever surface is supporting you. Feeling a sense of trust now, not only with your anatomy, but with the world around you as well. With the fact that you are being held up by the earth and you are being hugged close to the earth by the force of gravity. Knowing that when you soften your body and let go, you will not be crushed and you will not float away, but you will be held exactly where you need to be. And bring your awareness fully back into your heart. and really sync up your awareness with this unique rhythm that is beating within inside of you. Remembering the magic and the gift that this heart truly is, and how this heart has provided a steady background beat to every single moment of your life, even before you were breathing air. And from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment, this heart has been steadily keeping you alive, pumping life into you. And there is nothing in particular that you have done to make your heart beat or to earn this beating heart. But this is a pure gift of life that all of us have been given. And so you do not need to prove yourself worthy of this gift. You do not need to earn any more love from the world around you. But you can remind yourself instead that the simple fact that you have this gift of this heart means that you are worthy. The simple presence of this heart within you is the proof of your worthiness of this life. And this heart is also your direct line of connection to whatever source you believe makes all of our hearts beat, to whatever source all of life comes from. You are directly connected to that source because you are alive. And so you do not need to earn any more love or life from the world around you. And it would be impossible for you to do so, because you have a direct line of connection to the infinite supply of all love and life. And we will all move through phases where we wax and wane with how much of this love we feel, and how connected to this source we feel, and how connected to ourselves we feel. But regardless of how we are feeling, we can all know that we are directly connected to the source that life comes from, because we are life. And it is that simple. And it would be impossible for you to earn more love from the outside. And instead, what we can do is connect in to that infinite supply that we have access to through this heart, through our bodies. And rather than trying to earn more from the world around us, we can flip that narrative to sharing the love that is already within us. Sharing our own unique expression of love, however it comes out for you. Knowing that this love and life and infinite supply of it is directly connected to every inch of your body as well. And your hands have the power to create whatever is on your heart. Your mouth has the power to speak what is on your heart. You have the power to see things through this loving lens, and to view your own thoughts, to think from this loving perspective as well. And all of us will move through phases where we feel very connected to this, where we feel like a full moon, where we feel bright, whole, connected, and like we can shine light for others in the darkness. And we will also move through phases where we feel like a new moon, where we are more in the dark and feel disconnected, maybe confused and lonely, and like we're hiding in the darkness. But there are also all of the phases in between the new moon and the full moon. And we are just like the moon. We are not meant to be full all of the time. We will not be full all of the time. We are simply meant to move through these phases, just like everything else in life does. We are not meant to escape the waves that life presents. We are just meant to ride them with as much grace as we can. And just know that if you are in a place right now that feels dark and lonely, our minds have a really successful way of trying to convince us that this is how we've always felt, and this is how we always will feel, and this is just what life is. It is this dark, lonely place. And just know that that will never be true, no matter how true it feels in the moment. The only thing that we can count on is that everything changes, especially how we feel. And you can remember that the same thing is true when you are feeling really good. If you think back to phases of life where everything has felt wonderful and like everything's clicking. When we are in those states of mind, it also convinces us that this is how it's always been and how it always will be, and things are just great all of the time. But again, that will never be true. So what we can do is remind ourselves of the constant that is change and allow that truth to be the permission for you to fully feel all of the bad stuff you're feeling and let yourself cry, let yourself scream or punch a pillow or get your emotions out however they need to get out. And do all the comfort things, maybe hide under the covers or watch your favorite movie, whatever things you need to do to comfort yourself in that dark space. Because it is temporary. And you can use that same fact as permission for you to fully feel all of the good stuff you're feeling. To soak it all in those phases of life where you are feeling really good and connected and whole. And like you can shine light for others in the darkness. Allow yourself to do so. And release any guilt you might feel for feeling good when you know that others are suffering. And instead, use it as an opportunity to help others who are suffering. And trust that when the tides change and you are in that darker space, there will be someone else coming along for you to remind you of the brightness that is on its way. And so you can continue to feel whatever is present within you to feel as you just listen to the following words written by young Pueblo in his book Inward. And allow anything that feels like it resonates with you or feels helpful for you to soak in a little deeper. and not worrying about the rest. When chaos is all around you, the wisest choice is to create peace within you. Your peace shines outward and supports the creation of a new harmony. We live in a unique time when fear-driven and hateful emotions are coming to the surface so that they can be completely released, so that we can create a new world where institutionalized forms of harm are no longer factors in our lives. As it works for the individual, it also works for the collective of humanity. We can't heal what is ignored. Nor can we live happily and freely if we continue running away from our own darkness. Personally, my faith is in people. Our courage to turn inward in the hope of uncovering and releasing all that stands in our way of becoming beings of unconditional love is what will bring harmony and peace to our world. Unity with those around us is most possible when we become internally whole and loving. Wisdom more easily flows through us when our minds and hearts are no longer reacting to the suffering of everyday life. This does not mean that we will become cold or distant. It means that we will learn to respond calmly to the inevitable changes of life without causing ourselves misery. We will learn to respond to life as opposed to blindly reacting to it. Humans affect one another deeply, in ways that the world at large is just beginning to understand. When we begin healing ourselves, it sets off waves that connect us to those who have healed in the past and those who will heal in the future. When we heal ourselves, it gives strength to those who need more support to take on their own personal healing journey. What we do reverberates throughout time and space, like a rock thrown into a lake. The circles it creates move in all directions. As she looked into her past, she noticed that the road she had traveled was no simple straight line. Her journey toward fully loving herself and the world was full of forward and backward movement, twists, turns, detours, and even some pauses. At times she doubted her progress, her potential, and even her power to change. But today, with the wisdom of experience at hand, she knows she could not have gotten to where she is without every movement she has ever made. Serious transformations begin with two commitments: the courage to try new things and act in new ways, and the honesty needed to no longer hide from or lie to ourselves. The people with the power to move and act through unconditional love will be the healers and the heroes of our planet. So just take the next few moments to really allow all the words that you've heard today to settle. If you imagine each word as a little speck of glitter in a snow globe, And everything's been flying all around, and now is the time where we set the snow globe down and allow the air to clear and the words to settle. And trusting that anything you've heard today that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, trusting that those feelings can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. Remembering that there is nobody else out there who can teach you more about yourself and your journey and your passions and purpose than what quiet time with yourself can teach you. And if you ever come across anyone who tries to convince you that they know what's best for you or they know you better than you can let that be a giant red flag to bring your attention back inward and never give that power away to anyone else. You are your own best teacher, and you already know all it is that you need to do, if that is anything at all. And know that any times in your past where you have given that power away, you have the ability and the strength and the power to reclaim that at any time. And you will, exactly when you should, no sooner or later. There is always going to be a period of time between when we recognize we need to make a change and when we actually have the power and resources to make those changes. And so allow yourself to be wherever you are in that process of change and growth. And trust that the small daily actions that you make that support your best interests, support the love and light that is within you, over time will get you exactly where you want to be and deserve to be and will be. And it will also allow others to act in the same ways. And so if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can bring your attention back to the pulse in both of your hands. And just let that pulse find each other. And your hands come to a prayer position toward heart center. And allow your heart to lift toward your thumbs and your thumbs to press back toward your heart. You just feel all of this power that is generated through you. And take a deep, full breath into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you are ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. Just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.